Evening, folks. It's just a quick video. I haven't been loading a whole lot of buckshot lately. Been loading a lot of centerfire rifle and pistol. But I have been doing my dove shells, filling buckets full of these things. And I had a couple gentlemen over earlier was asking me, how do you get that pretty taper on your shotgun shells using Lee Loadoll? Well, it's because I just don't use strictly Lee Loadoll. Here's a bunch of, these are Federals, Winchesters, Remingtons. We use basically all of them. These are all tapered hulls, so I'm using the same load data in every single one of them. This is the Winchester AA. I don't use powder in there because I like my powder to be precise, exactly. And I'm loading 22 grains of green dot. All these have already been resized and reprimed, but I'm using 22 grains of green dot in every one of them. And I'm using the Winchester AA wads, 1 1/8 ounce, and loading 1 1/8 ounce a shot in all these rounds. Lee Loadoll, it does fine by itself. You don't have to do anything else, which I'm about to show you. They'll load up fine all by themselves, and you can go hunting with them. But the thing about them is, now that one did do a pretty good little taper on it, but we can make it look even better. That's some old Winchester AA skeet. These holes are probably older than a lot of guys getting into reloading now. Now I really recessed it in and tapered it so it feeds in these auto shotguns real good. That's all. That's that Gype BN2 roll crimp tool is what we're using. Here's another real old Winchester AA. These holes are from back in the 70s, guys. 22 grains of green dot. Once again, Winchester AA, 1 1/8 ounce. Claybuster has the same cloned wad, basically. I'll tell you what it is in just a second. It looks identical. You can't even tell them apart. See, you could take it just like that. But sometimes, when you, especially in these auto loaders, you can see it right here on this one. From the previous fold, it's got like a little lip. We can get rid of that with that BN2. And it doesn't take much, guys. We tapered that one in actually almost too far, but it still works just fine. But that's all it is to it. I'm loading all these with 1 1/8 ounce of number 8 shot. I got 2 buckets here slammed full of shells, already loaded. And my buddies will get rid of every one of them opening day of dove season, probably. Might not hit a lot of birds, but we sure make a whole lot of noise. Man, loading them up beautiful. That Lee Loadoll too, like 80 bucks, guys. You can't hardly go wrong with it. There's plenty of pages out there now where you can buy these Winchesters load up beautiful. These have probably been loaded up. If I had to guess, these things probably been loaded up 6-7 times over the years. I mean, these are all old light loads, AA's. Like I said, most of these are back when I was a kid, in the 70s. I got a bunch of old paper holes way back in the day back there in the back room. 1 1/8 ounce a shot. Pre-crimp it. Final crimp. Hey, you can go hunt with them just like that. It'll shoot just fine. I just like to make sure that there's not going to be a problem with it by tapering it with the BN2. It just folds it in just a little bit at the top, heats it up. Let's grab an old Remington hole, old Remington RXP. I got a bunch of RXPs, STSs. They all load, any of the taper holes, you can basically use the same load data. Ounce and 1/8 a shot. That taper folds it in real good at the top, make it look like factory new. Here's another RXP. This is the newer RXPs. Big difference in them from back in the day. I thought I had some STSs laying up here. Oh, I got all RXPs laying here. This one been fired a boatload of times. You can see the scorching on it. We'll keep on loading it. They've all got Winchester 209 primers in them. Whole bunch of Winchesters. Don't ask me where you can get some, because I haven't seen them in a while. I just got a shelf full of them over there. But Chadites are readily available. You can use Chadite just as well as you can. Winchester, CCI, it don't matter, guys. They load up beautiful. The taper just gives it a little prettier of a look. Tapers it in some. Around is beautiful. There's an old STS. That thing been fired so much it done turned black all the way around. The main thing you need to know about loading these is if it's straight wall or tapered. If you don't know, you can cut one open. A lot of the newer stuff though is all straight wall. You're using straight wall, use straight wall wads. This one been shot so much, look, it doesn't turn black. It's been reloaded I don't know how many times. I probably shot this hole back when I was a kid, guys. That's how old that thing is. Back in the 70s and 80s. I probably shot that hole at a dove. Probably killed a few birds with it. You can use the bushings in this, but I'm a stickler about my powder charge being exactly what I want it to be. So I just use the Frankford Arsenal IntelliDripper over here to load my shotgun with. Over on my rifle bench over there behind me, I use an RCBS. I mean, makes perfect rounds, guys. I still love using my mechs, don't get me wrong. They're great. Well, if somebody first getting into it, that's an easy way to go right there. Especially with loading these 2 3/4, you can't hardly screw them up. There's an RXP. My daddy probably shot some of these shells. God rest his soul, back in the day. I went fishing the other night, first time in probably 5 years. I'm always out here reloading. I ain't catch nothing. I think I'm a little rusty at it. But I can at least say I went fishing. Been so hot, ain't nobody wanting to do much of nothing, to be honest with you. Winchester, them real old, this one, you can't even see the writing on it no more. I guarantee you can't see it on the camera anyway. It's old Winchester, AA. Done got scorched around the top, but she's still loading up. Put a slight taper on her. Takes a little bit longer when you're measuring each one like this. I could do it this way, but I don't have a bushing that gives me, it's either almost a half a grain under 22 or 3 or 4 tenths over 22, and I want exactly 22, hence why I use the IntelliDropper. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that thing works awesome. Load up anything. We even do buckshot that same way. I like these new RXP hulls. They would load real good too. Winchester AA's, red or gray. Federal, you can load them. They don't load as pretty, that's for sure. They work though in a pinch, that's for sure too. That one was hanging on something. Still loaded up like a dream. I could sit here all night just loading these things. After all these years, don't ask me why, I still don't get tired of it. My wife calls it my therapy. Keeps me from being in an ill mood, she says. She could be right. Alright, that one is hitting on something. Got a slight tear in the hole right there. I just push it through, put it back under, and do it again. And it's still hitting it. Oh, there it is. I see it good now. So this one, when it gets shot, this old Winchester is finally done met her day. She will not get reloaded again after this. But we will get this last shot out of her, see? And watch how pretty it's still gonna load. It's even got a tear up there in the grooves. But look, you'll never notice it when it's done. This is pretty as new. I hope that helps somebody. I use a lead load all too. Then I just used a BN2 roll crimp to put a taper on them. After that, I throw them in the buckets and load them up. Oh yeah, I said I would show this to y'all. Clay Buster replacement, the CB1118 12 gauge, 1 1/8 ounce. It's the same thing as a Winchester AA, which that's all it is, the replacement to it. Throw all these loaded ones. Now that we're done, drop one in there. I throw them over here in this bucket, these buckets, and the guys come pick them up before opening day of dove season. And they'll bring them back. There's buckets of shells. That one there slam full. This one's 3/4 full. It's probably 2,000 or 3,000 shells loaded, but we'll get more loaded. Stay tuned. I want to load some 28 cal. See if we're gonna get done on all that. But over there, as you can tell, my rifle bench is a disaster waiting to happen. My shotgun ain't no better, but the rifle is a disaster waiting to happen. All right, folks, we'll get back to loading some buckshot here shortly. Stay tuned. We'll see y'all later.